So welcome along everybody to tonight's presentation or opportunity meeting, as we like to call it, around the X39. Just a small wearable light frequency patch, just a little thing about the size of a 50-cent piece. You see it against my hand there, that I believe is the future of wellness. It's been a game changer, not only for our health, our children's health, our 94-year-old dad's health, and a lot of people that we've been associated with, our friends, colleagues. But we also want to talk about the incredible business opportunity that's powering this. So my name's Chris Boone.
And I'm Andrea Phillips.
And we came upon this just over a year ago, where we saw a friend who was struggling terribly with psoriatic arthritis. His joints had sort of closed up. If you've ever had that, it's a horrible condition. He had psoriasis all over his body. And look, he was quite miserable, to be fair. He's an active guy, a very successful businessman. He's a pilot. He's got his own plane, but he wasn't enjoying life. And then I saw him several months later, and it was like night and day. He was a completely different person. And I said, mate, look at you. You know, what's happened? And what have you been up to? And he said, I've been patched. And that went right through to the wicketkeeper. There was no nick on that one. I don't know what he was talking about. And that's a cricket term. If you're not a cricketer, you go, what's he on about? So long story short, I said, look, Ross, how's this helped you? And he told me he's got all my energy back. I can walk up and down the stairs. He said after a couple of months, I could run up and down my stairs, where before I couldn't even move my feet to walk. He's got all my energy back. So that piqued my interest. And so I got invited along to a presentation to see how this technology worked. And I brought my daughter along because she was struggling a little bit with endometriosis and some other issues. And I thought it might be a good opportunity to find something for her. But that meeting really has had a major impact on our lives and hundreds of people's lives now, and then ultimately it will be thousands and tens of thousands of people's lives. So I come back and I talked to Andrea a little bit about this, what I've discovered, and she was
very cautious, very cautious. So I was on top of a mountain when Chris rang me, and he was so excited about this. And of course, again, it just went through me. I had no idea what he was talking about. I said, I'll talk to you in a couple of days when I get my coverage back. And he was still so excited when I came back. And I was, very cautious, skeptical. I went on, I had a look. And I thought, well, I don't know why I need it. I'm healthy. I don't have any aches or pains. But yeah, it was amazing what it has done for me. So
yeah, and we're talking about less than a cup of coffee a day. I've had 2 coffees today, and it's half of what I paid for those coffees. So we're not talking about an expensive thing. We're not talking about investment. We're just talking about an opportunity to improve your health and also your wealth. So what I'm going to do is just really share my screen. This is the presentation I saw. As I said, Ross said to me, have you been patched? So we're talking about elevating a peptide. It's a copper peptide. We'll talk about that as we go. We're talking about being able to activate your dormant stem cells or your own production of your own stem cells, and then regenerating your body.
So here is the CEO and inventor of X39, David Schmidt. So he has now got close to 300 patents. He is the scientist and inventor who specializes in age reversing. And in 2008, David focused his attention on stem cell research, and his recent patent took him 10 years and 4.5 million USD to bring it to the market.
And so here is the patent. Now, and why a patent is important is there's 2 things that I just want to bring to your attention around the patent. Firstly, in the US, you have to be able to prove that what you're getting patented can actually do what you say it can do. You can't say, hey, I've got a great idea. I want to reactivate dormant stem cells. I want to patent that idea. They're going to say, look, see you later. You come back when you've got the proof, when you can prove to us that you can actually do what you're saying you're doing. And what we're talking about is being able to elevate a peptide called the GHK-Cu copper peptide that will then reactivate dormant stem cells. And you'll see here in the patent, part of what had to be shown or had to be able to be proved is elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvement in stamina, elevation of collagen production, and improved wound healing. That's a pretty impressive list. And the second thing around a patent from a business perspective is nice to know that you have exclusivity to a product. It can't be copied, and we're only 5 years into a 20-year patent.
So why the X39 stem cell activation patch? So when we are born with lots of stem cells. So the stem cells makes up every organ in our body. Now, we've probably heard about stem cells, but nobody really knows too much about them, and the doctors don't talk about them. But as we age, our stem cells start to become inactive. So by the time we're 30, only 50% of our stem cells are active, and at 60, less than 10% of our stem cells are active. So that's what's causing a lot of the pain, the inflammation, and all those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we seem to be aging. Well, some of you will be quite young. You might not be suffering from these effects, but as you get a little bit older, you're going, how come I'm aging faster? How come I'm healing slower? Well, when you're talking about getting close to 60, your body's trying to heal itself on 10% of its capacity, because stem cells are your body's healing mechanism. They will go and tidy up stuff. They would tidy up the inflammation. They heal things. You look at a baby or a young child, they cut themselves, they bruise themselves, they almost heal before your eyes. That's stem cell activity. Why isn't that happening as we get older? Because part of that aging process means our stem cells have gone to sleep and have gone into decline. So what is the X39? It's this little wearable light frequency patch. You put on acupressure point, and it works by being activated by our body's heat. And what it does is the inside of this patch, there is a lattice work of amino acids, nanocrystals, salts. And how it works like a mirror, because our body reflects heat and reflects light. That's why the military, you see on the movies, they have the night vision goggles. That's the heat and low frequency infrared light coming off our bodies. Can't see it with the naked eye. All this does is, as I said, like a mirror, it captures some of that infrared light, sends it back, reflects it back in, and elevates a peptide called that GHK-Cu copper peptide, elevates it in our blood, and then that peptide then sends a signal to our stem cells to come back, start producing again. We're not checking out. We want to go on living, and our body then can go and heal itself naturally. Now, what is really important? What is really important about this? It is completely non-transdermal. There's no chemicals in it. It's no stimulants. There are no drugs. Someone asked me today, is there any side effects? No. I mean, it's only your own body's light. I mean, the odd person has a wee bit of a reaction to the adhesive. So it's a medical grade adhesive, but that's a very small percentage. And I say to people, my only side effect is I've got to go to the hairdresser a lot more because my hair's growing faster after 12 months. But it's completely non-transdermal, completely non-invasive. And look, light therapy has been around for years and years and years. It's just like the sun is probably the original light therapy. And if you imagine when you go out in the sun, there's no vitamin D in the sun's rays. That just elevates the vitamin D inside your own body. Exactly how this works.
So what are some of the benefits of X39? Well, there's increased strength, mental clarity, reduced inflammation, restored muscle or skeletal conditions, increased stamina, improved sleep, energy and vitality, and improved skin appearance. Now, I could talk about each and every one of those, but we've got some testimonials coming up that will talk through a lot of that. So, it does so much, and just not externally, but also internally.
And we're talking about achieving a state of optimum health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Now, one of the things like we like to say, we're not doctors, we're not your doctor, well, not doctors at all. So we're not saying that we're not trying to claim that this will cure, prevent any disease or condition. We would suggest that you get medical advice. That is not our role. All we can do is share what it's done for us and what it's done for hundreds of people that we've introduced, and then thousands of people that we know globally, and then we're talking about millions worldwide. So some of the long-term results of the X39, when you're wearing this, and this is from the studies in the National University in Ireland, where David Smith teamed up since about 2008, I think it was. The Irish government put a lot of funding in this because they could see this as the future. But what they found within the first few days of wearing the X39, over 4,000 genes begin to reset to a younger age. Within Around about 6 weeks, the brain becomes more balanced. And we've seen that with a lot of our neurodiverse friends and children, ADHD, Asperger's, dyspraxia, even children with autism being able to communicate on a new level, a completely new level. Within about 3 months, the collagen comes back. Now, that is not only on the outside, but the inside, because as we get older, if that peptide remained active, because that does decline, as we age to about 60, only 40% is that's working. At 60, only 10% of our stem cell production is working. That's why we get wrinkles, because if our stem cells didn't decline, we wouldn't get wrinkles. But the scary thing is, what we're seeing on the outside is mirroring on the inside. So bringing back the collagen on the inside as well, because all our major organs are made up of collagen. Our brain, our heart, arteries, veins, bones. So if it's thinning on the outside, it's thinning on the inside. But they found after 6 months that the study group, all bar one, their biological heart age reversed by 8 years on average, which is stunning. I believe that's the collagen coming back. But here's a topography map. This is a 77-year-old woman. The photo on the left, that is inflammation. That is warning signs. That is cognitive decline just waiting to happen. Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, just waiting to happen. And you don't have to be 77 to have that sort of inflammation in the brain. With the X39, just wearing it for 3 weeks, it had all bar gone. Within 6 weeks, it had completely gone. That's completely baffled a lot of the medical people. There's a neuropsychologist, a neurologist. I heard them being interviewed. They go, we're just shaking our head at that. That is phenomenal. We could possibly do that with some drugs, but that happening so fast with something that's non-transdermal just blew them away.
So how do we wear the X39? It's as simple as, so what you do with this this patch, well, do it. There we go. Is that on the back, as you can see, you just take it off, take this back part off, and you put it either on the back of your neck or under your belly button. That's where they say to use it, because that's where your acupuncture points are. But honestly, if you've got any pain, you can just put it anywhere on your body whatsoever. So you wear it for 12 hours and wear it during the day, because we need to hydrate a stem cell, so with water, electrolyte, Celtic salts as well. So so you just wear it for 12 hours and then remove it at night, so it just gives the body time to rest and repair, and then you start all over again the next day. So it's very simple.
And look, the way we share this is because it is classified as a wellness device, we can promote this through personal testimonies. It's not a medical device. We're not medical doctors. We can't make claims. We can't give medical advice, but we can only share what has happened to us. Now, we put together a clip of some testimonials, about 8 people. Now, these are people we know, and each one of these is a 3-minute clip, but we've condensed it down to just over 3 minutes. And it's just a snapshot of what they have gone through. Now, these people go, oh, yeah, they're people, anyone can say, no, these are our friends. These are people we know. 2 of them are us. And so we know what we're saying is accurate. So let me just quickly jump into this.
We love this product. This has changed our family's life.
This X39 had to be something special.
Our son, he went from being bedridden to actually playing Division 2 rep basketball this year.
I caught a virus that attacked the brain. It left me totally powerless in every sense of the word. It was really a hard life. X39 literally exploded in my body, and I was able to think again. I had a brain.
I have had diagnosis of endometriosis in my bladder, suffering from chronic UTIs from probably the age of 14. My nana put a couple of patches on me one day and my pain was just gone instantly. And I have had recurring menstruating cycles with no UTIs and no pain. It has helped immensely with my anxiety. I sleep better.
A few months ago, I got diagnosed with a blood sugar level of 117. If I continued the way I was, I'd be on kidney dialysis and possibly die. I started using the X39 along with SB6. So come down from 117 to 60.
I had a pain in my bottom for 11 months that nothing helped. I had tried all the essential oils known to mankind. So it was miraculous that I met up with Vanessa at the markets on the Gold Coast, and she gave me a patch and said, pop off to the bathroom and put this on your bottom and see what happens. Guys, in 20 minutes, all the pain had left my body. Like, this was total life-changing.
Well, I played a lot of rugby when I was younger. I had 2 shoulder reconstructions. 2.5 years I've been battling with that. Just 3.5 weeks after wearing this patch, and I wasn't expecting this. It completely blindsided me.
The biggest thing I noticed, the menopause. So the brain fog, hot flushes, the sleep. That was a big thing for me. And I didn't actually realize how bad it was until all of a sudden the brain fog lifted. I'm not as tired. I can go through the whole day.
I used to have migraines, very bad. I couldn't do anything but sleep. I have started using the LifeWave X39 patch. It saved me. It's saved me. A big thing I've noticed is mental clarity. I can think clearly. I can do stuff.
We basically have a daughter who had 3 major brain traumas. After 6 weeks of patching the X39 on her body and her brain, it was like we got our daughter back.
I got energy after like my 6th or 7th day, and even my brain fog that I had from COVID, ADHD, my central nervous system. It's been a game changer for me.
Since I was a kid, I have had a sharp pain in my lower back, and they've never actually been able to tell me what it is. I started wearing the patches. I noticed after about a week that it was less. I wasn't wiggling as much. I wasn't taking as many anti-inflammatories or pain relief. It's been a month now and it's basically gone. My sleeps are definitely better, a lot more energy. I mean, it's been over 30 years since I've had it. Different person now.
I noticed a difference almost immediately. As soon as I started wearing X39, the neuropathy in my feet dramatically reduced.
I had a car accident, so I suffered concussion. So after 4 months of concussion, I said, screw this, I've got to try these X39s. Bang, suddenly, what the hell, I can think, I'm clear. So suddenly I'm operating back at my normal speed, which is flat out. What a difference.
Literally 12 months, I patched and didn't tell a single soul. Can I just let you all know, don't do that. And then I saw the results in my body. My wife started patching, saw results in the first week. This works. There are thousands of people in 75 countries all over the world being helped by this technology. This product gives hope.
So we're forever grateful for this product. We think everybody should be using this.
For us, we would have done it just to get our daughter back in that way.
So you've got to love these testimonials. I smile every time I see it, actually. I smile, and I think I cry as well, because it just the life-changing that it has made to a lot of these people. Whether it's a big or small change, it's a change, and it makes a difference.
And they're our personal friends, and
Yeah.
so it's just wonderful to have been able to introduce them to something that can produce those sort of changes.
That's right. Sometimes when you think your life's really bad and it's not worth it, it's because of all the pain you're in, and then this comes along. It's just, it's honestly, the testimonials that we hear are just mind blowing, and it's not just those ones as well. So these are some of the testimonials that you'll see on this is at Info. The curve back that she has, obviously scoliosis. She has got some other different patches on there. That's why you'll notice a couple of different ones. A young boy from a snowboarding accident, and he went for his job interview, so his face cleared up pretty quick. The allergies to clear, bright and tight skin. The one in the corner we always laugh about, because I used to say it was Chris, and then he got offended because he says, well, I'm not balding. But honestly, I can't believe how dark Chris's hair has got over that time, because he was going reasonably grey, but now it's certainly getting darker.
I got my hair cut about 2 weeks ago, no, just a week ago, and my hairdresser said, you're colouring your hair, Chris. I said, Graham, you've known me for 35 years. When have I ever coloured my hair? You're colouring your hair. I said, I'm not, mate. And so I've never coloured it. And anyway, after he cut my hair, he said, okay, give me the patches. I give in.
So just all the different testimonials there. The turkey neck's gone. All the collagen that's coming back is just amazing. So there is lots of testimonials going around, and there's lots of doctors as well. Dr. Stacey, she's a very good one to listen to as well. So, and they're also on This Is It Info that you can go to.
Dr. Harmon's one of my favourites.
Yeah. So we receive good news stories every day, and even today, just because something doesn't seem to be happening or you can't feel it doesn't mean it's not happening. So today we've got an 82-year-old gentleman who's only been on them a month. He went and had his blood pressure taken, and the doctor was so surprised how his blood pressure has come down in such a short time. The doctor doesn't know he's on it, but it's like, well, you've always had high blood pressure. Why is it getting a little bit lower? So, yeah, it's just amazing. And then we had another guy, he said, this week, actually, he said, I go and get my blood test done once a year. He said they've come down. He said it's just amazing.
Doctor said, I don't know what you're doing. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're brand new on here, go and have a look at This Is It info. There's a whole bunch of information on the front page. There's 3 videos, what light therapy is, what the X39 does. David Smith's talking. There's doctors on there. There are other tabs you can go into and see the patent studies. And a whole bunch more testimonials. So look, I just want to switch focus just a little bit onto the business side of it, because this is what's powering it. This is what's getting it out to the world. This is what's making it so successful. Now, I believe you're going to see people wearing these patches all over the place in the next certainly 2 or 3 years. But right now we're at the ground floor. Having said that, the company, which is a 20-year, I'm talking about New Zealand and Australia, but the company, LifeWave, is a 20-year-old company. So it's not just a fly-by-night thing that's just popped up and say, hey, look, we found this cute little technology. No, this has been worked on for the last 20 years. And in 2021, the company was turning over 21 million. And that's when the X39 finally hit the market after all those years. And look at the growth trajectory. So right through to 2024, 600 million, just under $1 billion last year. But what is really important around that, most of that is repeat business. Now, if this product didn't work, people wouldn't be out there recommending it, using it, recommending it, and now the company's growing like it's growing up to nearly $1 billion in turnover. It's the #1 ranked momentum company in the direct sales space. And last year they won the 2025 Biotech Breakthrough Award. Now, that is an internationally recognized award for stem cell innovation, and they won the Stem Cell Innovation of the Year.
So I really like this this page as well, because I mean, what would we do with an extra $500 a month or even a week? I mean, would that make a difference to your life? Because what is important in your life, you know, with this, you get the opportunity to have more family time, more security, more travel, certainly better health, and less debt if that is what you're wanting.
And so, look, if we look at from a business perspective, so what is the business of this? This is the only way you can get this is directly from the company, directly from LifeWave. It is a direct sales model. So instead of being able to, you know, direct from the manufacturer to the consumer, so instead of David Smith chose not to go down the traditional lines of millions of dollars in brand awareness, wholesaler, retailer, where it sits on the shelves 4 or 5, 6 times the price, or it may sit on the shelves for years and not get out. So he chose the direct sales model. It's word of mouth, it's referrals, it's recommendation. It really is the people's business. Now, I love this. Andrew and I have been in business for many years. We have a number of very successful businesses, particularly in the financial services arena, and we still own and operate those. We're an events business. We're involved in a number of other companies. But what I thought, I've always believed in multiple streams of income. If I could find a professional direct sales business that I could add to my portfolio that could replace our income on a renewable, on a residual basis, but I had to have the right product, it had to be exclusive, and the timing had to be right. So if you compare what I'm going to show you right now to a conventional business with all its high startup costs, high risk, the long hours, we're working 80 to 100 hours a week, trial and error, I don't know, the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars I've lost through trial and error, and the income is always quite limited.
And so with the LifeWave business, I mean, how many businesses can you start on a credit card and as low as $3,000? There is no risk to this. You can make your own schedule. You please yourself when you work it. And it's a proven system. And that's the thing. You don't have to go out there and reinvent the wheel. They have a wonderful system. And you can tell that by the amount of money that's going through it, and unlimited earning potential from it.
And so one of the things that I've always read, I don't know how many books or how many seminars I've listened to, and people talk about how to become wealthy. And one of the common themes is find a problem, and then I will identify a problem and then find a solution. Well, the problem out there at the moment, everyone's got stem cells. Well, that's not a problem. The problem is they're declining, and as we age, and so as we're getting older, we're getting sicker. We're finding it harder to recover, harder to heal, and so many people are struggling financially. What the solution here is stem cell reactivation. If you can, this just screams opportunity. A product that can reactivate dormant stem cells is completely natural, and it's stimulating your own body stem cells. You're not going out spending $25,000, $30,000 injecting someone else's stem cells in. You are activating your own stem cells, and it's an income generating business. So look, we use what's called a binary compensation plan, because you've got to be able to measure. You've got to have a system. You've got to have a method of payment. How do you reward people for referring people? And how do you reward people for helping people build teams of people to refer people? And that's the latter. That's where we came into it. That's what we saw. But look, this binary compensation plan, and look, we don't have anywhere near the time to go through and show you how that works. We can do that, circle back and do another meeting, give you a little bit more detail in that. But this can, from maybe $100 a week to $500 to $1,000, and we're talking about US a week, to being able to replace your current income, to potentially $25,000 through just what we call the binary bonus, if you like. There is introductory bonuses. It allows people to come on and start earning from day one. There's an introductory bonus. If someone just introduced 2 people straight away of $25 a week, plus you get an introduction bonus on top of that, double that's $50. And we're talking about US. So this is allowing people to cover the cost of using that. That was David Smith's whole philosophy. Look, it's only $6.50 a day. Works out about 160 New Zealand plus a bit of shipping, but not everyone can afford that. So he said, I don't want people excluded. So if I can help them refer people to me, I will let them share in the profits, and they can cover the cost of their own product. There's matching and mentoring bonuses as you help people grow their business, as you teach people to build teams of people. And then it's just going to duplicate. And right now, what Andrew and I have started in the last 9 months, there is no way we could stop what we've started. It's gone global. We're now going globally. We're doing these sort of presentations for people in Europe, America, Australia. So how do you get started? It's very simple. You're setting up, like you are getting the distribution rights from LifeWave, but you're not having, it's like having your own franchise, but you're not paying a franchise fee. In fact, you pay nothing to join the company. What you do to get is you'll get an introductory pack. Now, in here is what we call a sleeve. There's a month supply. There's 30 X39 sitting in this. And so the first introductory pack, you come in with one of these 4 packs. And so the core pack, and each one of these is $99 US, which works out about 160, as I said. Now, the introduction pack, I'd say a core pack, is 3 sleeves, is $295 US. It's just it's a one-off. You're not getting 3 a month. You're just getting 3 one time. And you go on what we call an auto ship. So a monthly subscription. This works on subscription. You're not locked in. You can cancel that. But it works by saying, hey, look, just send it to me once a month. I'll get 2 sleeves if we're a couple, 1 sleeve if we're a single. So the core is pretty much for people that just want to try it for themselves. They don't want to refer people. They're not interested in getting a referral bonus, not interested in setting it up as a business. The advance is where you get 6 sleeves. And that really is probably the entry point for someone that wants to be a business owner. It's 6 sleeves, $535. You go on a 2 months auto ship. Now the whole compensation plan opens up. Now we'd recovered the cost of our product within a week, because we referred 4 people straight away. They were on board, they were using the product, and then they started doing the same thing. The advanced 11 sleeves, but for the serious entrepreneur, the 20 sleeve premium pack, that's where we're at. We came in on the advanced, saw the opportunity, immediately upgraded to the premium. And that's where the serious business entrepreneurs will go. But you will decide where you come in. Certainly, I'd recommend you come in. If you want to build a team of people and earn, around about $500 to $1,000 a week, you definitely start at the advanced. If you want to then teach people to build teams of people and have that grow exponentially, then look at the premium. But look, just really in closing, there's 2 sites to go and have a look at. There's This Is It Team. That's our training and support website. You can jump on that even without registering or enrolling. Have a look at This Is It Info. That's all about the product. What I'd recommend just in closing is, look, circle back to the person that has brought you along. Ask them for some more information. We're happy to help them follow up with you. They can follow up with you. We run these regularly every Thursday night, so you can invite people to come and see it from us. And we do have other people come on and do that. But what I recommend, the first thing you do, just try it. Just try it. And it will be life-changing for you. The energy that it creates, the clarity of thought. Some people, they have serious medical issues. Being able to heal those naturally, allow your body to heal itself. It's phenomenal. And from a business perspective, like I said, some people just come in on the core pack. They can get it at wholesale just to use for themselves. Others will come in the advanced or premium, set up a business that will generate 6 and potentially 7-figure income. So look, I've enjoyed sharing with you. We're probably a minute over the 30 minutes, so I'll let Andrea close off.
Yeah, so thank you very much, everybody. And for the newbies, don't think that you have to do these presentations like Chris and I are doing it. So I don't want to scare you off by that anyway. They think, oh gosh, I have to do that. No, you don't. But yeah, certainly get back to your brand partner. They'll be able to help you, or certainly come to us. But yeah, like Chris said, try it.
Fantastic.